Oh my gosh, they've got the solar lights. Oh, I hope they're broke. I can't believe it. They're broke. They're not working. Oh, this is fantastic. Great. This is just what I wanted. When they are broken, they stop working, we can make such fabulous things out of them that look better than they did before. Yeah, I did these last year, but now I've got something better. All from these solar lights that are absolutely adorable. I did go to Dollar Tree and find some of them that are now color changing. Doesn't that change your life with color? But they do start off quite nice. You turn them on and they change into different colors. They go from red to green to blue. But you know what the main thing is? Even when they burn out, you end up with something fabulous for your yard, and they look beautiful. Let's get right in. Let's make these and see the results when they're all done. And then you tell me, do you want to leave them the way they are, or do you want to change them up right now? All kidding aside, we do know that these solar lights do break down, and they come in all different styles. Here's one that had a butterfly in it. It was no longer working. The butterfly was still in there fine, but the light wasn't going on. So I got some tester paint. Yes, the cheap stuff you get from 50 cents from Home Depot. Painted them up, and I'm going to show you a few different styles on how I make these fun planters. Yes, they're planters. You put them out there and you start growing plants in them because the light's not working, but I actually think they're cuter when I have them in the plants. Fill them up with your favorite soil and then stick a plant in there. Now, the plants I do put in there are succulents, and that you can get anywhere. You can take a walk and find one. They are everywhere and they look so cute. How can you resist that? And once you water it, the water comes out of the bottom. I'm going to show you a few different ways of doing it, and I think you'll get some ideas on what to do with those solar lights that suddenly don't turn on at night, but they can turn you on during the day. In other words, they look beautiful when you step out on your deck, your patio, or in your garden. Now, if you've got the solar lights that did have a butterfly inside, don't throw that away. Open it up and glue the butterfly onto any flexible wire. So if it blows out in the breeze, it will bob a little bit outside with the wind. It'll look real. Is that not beautiful? Now, the first butterfly, I actually attached the wire while it was still attached to the top of the solar light. But you can just simply cut it off, put some hot glue on the base of the butterfly, and then hold the wire there. And to set the glue really fast, just run it under cold water in the sink. And immediately your butterfly is set and ready to go outside in your planter. Is that not beautiful? Look at that. Something you were going to toss in the trash now looks nicer, I think, than it did before. And if you don't want to put the butterfly outside, you can stick them in your house plants. I think they look absolutely gorgeous in the house, in your plants. That's kind of double duty. As first you purchase it so it would look beautiful at night. When they're no longer lit up, you fixed it up where you can see it during the day for everyone to see. I think that's really cool. I think it's actually better. Now, this particular one was done about 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago, and I put the silk flowers on. You can see the painter's tape that I had used for this style is faded. It's still holding the flowers on, but I'm going to go ahead and reinforce it with new painter's tape. Now, you can do it again. This is to give you ideas any way you want. But I'm going to put the painter's tape over the old tape that's already there. Make sure everything is dry while you're working. Remember, I've told you, painter's tape is great and will last for years, but you want to make sure your hands are not damp and neither is the object you are taping. Now, I'm going to cut that butterfly off of this one and do this butterfly just a little bit different. Again, you can do it any way you want that's going to work for your project. This is to give you ideas. Now, I'm bending that wire. It's kind of hard to bend. I think it's memory wire, but you can get to it. Bend it and then put a piece of painter's tape on the other side of the wire. This is how I'm going to do this one. And I'm going to tape the butterfly on right underneath the flowers. Just a different style, another way of doing it. Is that not cute? Now that is ready to go outside and plant in. Oh, and I'm going to propagate some today and show you how to propagate succulent plants too. So stay tuned on that. That's beautiful. Now I'm going to reinforce everything on with hot glue. You don't have to because the painter's tape will hold it even in the rain. But I think it's going to be a little bit better since I've got my glue gun there and it's all available at my hand. So why not put on some hot glue? So I'm kind of running it under the flower so everything will stay really still. This is not a hummingbird feeder. This is going to be for planting succulents. I'm going to take you outside during the day, and we're going to plant some succulents in the fashion in which I plant, which is kind of different than anybody else. But isn't that nice? Now it's all reinforced, and we're going to do another one. This one never had a butterfly in it, just the cap with the light, but we took that off because the batteries are gone on that. Now I'm going to do this one a little bit differently. We're not going to decorate the post, the stake. We're going to decorate the top. And to take a hot soldering iron, I'm going to make one single hole. That's all. Now what I'm going to do is attach the flower to the top of this solar light. Now the hot glue will hold it, and what we're going to do is put a little bit more on the inside. Now you've got the hot glue on the flower as well as on the inside, so it's like a rivet. You can't pull that off. Now you can go back if you've got plastic flowers like I've got, or silk flowers. Some of these are mixed. Some of them are all plastic. Some of them are plastic and silk. And you can take bits and pieces from your flowers and kind of zhuzh it up a little bit. And if I neglected to say, that blue paint, which I painted these two in this color, also is tester paint. You can buy it a lot of times for 50 cents at Home Depot. They reduce them. And if not, you can just get a jar for like $4, $5 of the color you want. So it works either way. That container, so you have a small container of your favorite color, and you don't have to wait for 50 cents to get a color you may not want. Now, don't they look nice? I think we're going to decorate both of them. And that will give a little bit more, well, kind of color to it and cover up more of the painter's tape. And the painter's tape is perfect for adding on glue because it will grab a hold of the glue. And in the meantime, your flowers, your plastic flowers, will stay on the painter's tape, and it's all waterproof. Works great. This is why I use painter's tape to stake up tomatoes and a lot of plants in the garden. It works perfect for the season. Now you can take painter's tape, since it's green, the frog one, and you can cut them out like leaves. So there's a lot of different things you can do with this tape. Just think out of the box when you're decorating or using it, whether it's for a craft project like this or in the garden. Okay, let's get this planted now. Now here is how I plant my succulents, whether it's in one of these solar container planters or in a small container. I put a piece of sponge in there on the bottom because this container is very small. I want it to hold a little water. Now I'm using kitty litter that I get at Walmart that is 100% clay. There's no perfume. There's nothing added to it. Then I use some potting mix. And I just simply put in potting mix of my choice or of your choice, whatever you're going to plant. Now for these small containers, really the best thing to do is use succulent plants. And here I add a little bit more of the kitty litter because it holds water and it keeps the soil draining well. Because it's like little rocks in there, but little rocks that hold water. And it's cheap. You get a big bag for really under $10. Now I water it really good. So I've got the sponge on the bottom, just a piece of old sponge from the kitchen. And then I've got the kitty litter and then all my soil in there. Now I'm just going to break off a piece of succulent, a real small one. You know how slow they usually grow. And if they grow big, you cut them out, put a new one in later. Clip it off and take the bottom leaves off if you need to. Look at it and see if you need to take it off. Now don't throw those leaves away because remember, those leaves will grow. So drop them in a pot with a little bit of soil and they'll go ahead and grow a new plant just from the base of the leaf. Now you just kind of stick it in there. I take a fork. I use a lot of silverware in the garden everywhere, especially when I'm working with small pots or small plants. And I just put my plant in there. And if you need more soil, pack it in pretty good and put more soil. And then if you need some kitty litter on the top, it gives it a nice look and it holds everything in place. So I use kitty litter a lot around here. Now, when you water it, these solar lights have a hole already on the bottom in the stake. So if you lift it up, you'll see it's going to drain. And on the butterfly, I'm going to stick the butterfly in there. Is that not cute? Why not? So in goes the butterfly to add a little more decor to it. And look, when you water your plant in this solar light, it will drain from the bottom down the stake into the pot you have it sticking in. So it waters the plants as you water the top. Is that not cool? So stick it next to a plant that you want to get watered. Now I've got them all over here. And yes, Zoe's all excited all the time about the plants. Here's one, and all I have to do is water it. And remember, There'll be either kitty litter in there with a sponge or not. The sponge just gives a little bit more water. So if you forget to water it, there'll be a little bit of water in the sponge. Is that not beautiful? Something you were going to throw in the trash is now a beautiful planter to put out in your yard. So we'll do one bonus today. We're going to make one of the planters into a hummingbird feeder. Now you know how I love my dots, and I have dots all over here that I make at home and the hummingbirds feed out of it. Well, we're going to go ahead and add a dot onto this solar light planter. Now we can paint it red. You're not painting anything on the inside, just on the outside, and most of the paint here is all non-toxic anyways. We're going to need 2 ramekins, but actually 2 bases, but only 1 top. Now we're going to paint the top red. Again, only on the outside. The second ramekin doesn't need to be painted at all because it's going to be dropped into the red one. Now we're going to make a hole on each container, on the ramekin, the 1 ramekin only, and on the solar light top there, as seen right here in the video. Just like that. And I want it to sit a little bit high. And then we're going to put a hole in the ramekin. And that's how it's going to sit there. Now, how we're going to keep it there, no wire, because it has to be flat on the inside. We're going to push a lot of hot glue through the hole that's on the solar light there, right there. And then we're going to push the ramekin, and the glue's going to come through the hole that we made on the side of the ramekin. Remember, you get these food containers a lot of times free with takeout. Now we're going to add a little bit more hot glue on the inside and the outside, and we have made a rivet. That's what we've done. So it's not going to come off at all. I'm going to make a hole on the bottom ramekin only, the one attached to the stake. Remember, no nectar's going in here. This is a holder. This way, if it gets nectar in there or water in there, it will just drain out. It will always stay empty. And also, if your stake isn't draining, you know, the top there where you're going to plant, put a hole with the soldering iron there too, and see how it drops in? So when you go to change the nectar, you're just going to lift the top out and change it. You're never going to take it off of the stake itself. Now you can make 1 or 2 holes on the top, the one you painted. Remember, nothing's painted on the inside. And you can go back with yellow paint if you want to make a little flower, design, circle, whatever. And you can paint silk flowers with the paint as well. You know, touch them up a little bit. That's it. It's all done. It's ready to take outside. I'm going to go throw a succulent in there. I'm going to plant it up like I did the other one. And now I'm going to have a hummingbird feeder and a planter at the same time. So I hope I gave you ideas on what to do with those solar lights that stop working. And go ahead, write your comments. Are you going to do this? You're going to do it differently? How are you going to design yours? I hope you enjoyed this. So with that, have a wonderful day. Don't forget to eat what you grow. And I just love feeding hummingbirds and planting and not throwing things away. Bye-bye, everybody. Let's recycle. Okay, I had to end with this because when I saw it on my Wise Cam, it was just way too cute. The hummingbirds have been coming to it, but here comes that wren up the rail. Look at him. And below to the left, the chickens are busy. The whole yard is always busy. But those little wrens, they come in and they go among the plants and they're looking for insects. They're always very curious onto what is going on in those plants. But aren't they cute? I love the way they sing, and I love the way the chickens go marching around. Oh, what a busy yard.